what's good? This is your girl, I am the Bronze Goddess, and it's time for another strawberry letter. Before I get into today's video, I want to remind you guys to check out my brand new book. It's called Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. This book is an Amazon.com bestseller. Thanks to you guys and all of your support. Be sure to pick this up. It's also going to make a great little stocking stuffer for you guys. Really great information in here, so be sure to pick it up. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. Let's go get 'em. I'm a 25-year-old college graduate getting ready to start law school this upcoming spring, and marriage is at the top of my priorities aside from a relationship with God and my education. Although I'm American, my family is from the Caribbean, and I have inherited much of their dating style, which is the woman serves her man, i.e. cooks, cleans, cares to him, etc. And the man takes care of his woman, i.e. wines and dines her, takes her out, brings her flowers, the whole ordeal. Here's the issue. I've never dated a man outside of my culture until now. I met a guy 2 months ago online after 2 years of being single and focusing on building myself. I got out of a bad relationship and decided not to date until I was ready and gave myself ample time to find out who I truly was. After being single, some of my family and friends suggested online dating, so I went on there not knowing what to expect. My guy, let's call him Joe, has also been single for 2 years and also had a bad breakup after his fiance cheated on him with his best friend. He too wanted to truly find himself, and he decided also not to date until he was ready and completely over his ex. When I met Joe, he told me that I was the woman he'd been waiting for and that I was going to be the love of his life. He also told me that he wanted me to be his girlfriend after only a week of us talking. He came on very strongly and very expressive of how he felt about me. We've gone on several dates almost every week, and he's told his family about me. I also did a little research on him. I do work in the legal field, and I have been on point. Since we met online, I have to make sure that Joe is who he says he is, and come to find out we have mutual friends who we're very close to. One female friend told me that he's a true gentleman and that he knows how to treat a woman. She told me that he treats his ex like a queen, and that when they broke up, it was very public and everyone was shocked to hear what happened. So this is where my issue lies with Joe. He started pulling away from me. He doesn't call me as much, and he doesn't answer my phone calls. He also doesn't text me as much as he used to, and now I have to ask him to go out on dates. He works a full-time job, and I'm not working at the moment and on a break from law school, so I'm pretty much relaxing and living life right now. Because I live on the wealthier side of town and both of my parents are doctors, he thinks I'm very spoiled and I cry when I don't get things my way. He grew up in a two-parent household, but his family did struggle financially while he was growing up. He's one of the few people who went off to college and got his bachelor's. During our last argument, he gave me a list.
Girl, he gave her a list
of things that really got on his nerves. Number 1, I'm too clingy. Number 2, I'm not able to shine the light on myself when I'm wrong. Number 3, I've made myself the perfect angel. Number 4, I'm too demanding. Number 5, I never see the value in anything he tries to do. I have to summarize it from here. So after this particular situation, she says that he tried to surprise her with a little date or whatever on the beach. She said that she ended up showing up 45 minutes late, and as soon as she arrived, he left. She's normally used to dating guys that are older than her, but this is the first guy that's a little bit closer to her age. He's only 2 years older than her. She doesn't know if she's ruining a great relationship or she should go back to dating somebody who is in her culture. I'm not saying this is the case because honestly I don't know, but I do feel like in a way you may be slightly hiding behind your culture to mask the fact that you are a bit high maintenance. Like you said, you want good morning text, good night text, you want to be texted all day and called all day and wined and dined and flowers for no reason. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with romance, but romance on that constant basis requires a lot of effort. It may be a simple case where you are a high maintenance woman and you need a low maintenance man who's willing to put all of his attention on you. As a woman, don't get me wrong, you're supposed to feel like being with you is an amazing honor. You're supposed to feel like being with you is you're a catch and all of that, but at the same time, it should be reciprocal. My husband isn't just lucky to have me, I'm lucky to have him as well. Because that's how it should be. It shouldn't just be a one-sided relationship where one person's getting all of this attention, where the whole relationship is all about him making her happy. That every man isn't cut out for that. I'm not saying no man wants that, because there's some men who want to do that, but not every man wants to have every conversation be about how they can please you, every date be about how they can make you happy, everything has to be about you. Not every man is cut out for that kind of life. He sounds like he may not want that. You said all of this about him trying to show you how much he loves you, but very little about how you're showing him that you love him. A relationship, for it to work, must be a reciprocal one. How are you showing him you love him with your effort? That you too are lucky to have him. If it's not reciprocal, that's why it's not working. Because somebody's going to get tired of being the only one showing the other one how much they're loved. I definitely feel like he feels that he's not going to be good enough for you. With the way that the way that you were brought up, the way that you were raised, you say you come from an affluent family with both your parents are doctors. Here you are right now, not even working. He comes from a hardworking family where he's one of the first to go to college. And even like when he makes little gestures to try to, romance you and do nice things for you, you don't really show up the way that he wants you to. Like you said, he had planned this little beach date for you guys and that you showed up 45 minutes late. And even in his little checklist to you, I feel like this isn't the first time that you've minimized his small efforts to romance you. And I feel like, there's this line, I actually talk about it in my book, my book, Breaking the Man Code. There is this line in Sex and the City where Miranda is talking to her girlfriends, and she's saying that men are a lot like cabs. When they were ready to get married, they turn on their available light. And the first person that jumps into their cab, that's the one they marry. I feel like that's how you're actually treating him. Like in the beginning where you said that being married was pretty high up on your list of priorities. You already know that there's a lot of things about him that you want to change. That he is not perfect for you as is. But you still want to, you're staying in it because you have vetted him and you feel like he looks good on paper. Literally on paper, because you've researched him. You've interviewed his family and your friends. This man is not a job opportunity. Here he comes at the perfect time, even though he's not perfect. A man wants to feel, anybody wants to feel like the Etta James song. At last, dun, 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 my love has come along. Dun, 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 dun. A man wants to feel like when he meets you and when you meet each other for the first time, your search for the perfect person is over. Not like you'll do. You're treating him like, I would like this and I would like that, but the timing looks right. Here you are. We'll just clean you up. He's not a fixer-upper. This is not fix that house, flip that house. If he's not whining and dining you and smothering you and calling you and texting you, the good morning text and the good night text, and if he's not doing all that now, those things are not going to change. It sounds like that is a deal breaker for you. It sounds like that's a non-negotiable for you. So why are you staying here? You're staying in the relationship because the timing is right. Because like you said, besides an education and besides God, you're ready to get married. No one wants to feel like that. You said he is the first guy that's not of your culture that you've dated. It sounds like that's what you prefer. I think that he genuinely does care for you, but I feel like he may have gotten tired of feeling like he's not good enough. A man has to feel like he can support you and provide for you in every way, physically, sexually, financially, emotionally. I don't think that you have done enough to make him feel like the money is not a problem. When he makes his little gestures, even if it may not be as fancy as you would like and all that, the fact that you showed up 45 minutes late when he tried to plan something romantic, that may be all he could have afforded. I know when I first got with my husband, he was making minimum wage, and he knows that I love the movie Love Jones, so he would take me to poetry readings. There's like a Magic Johnson Starbucks here in Atlanta, where the first Saturday of every month they would have a poetry reading. We would go there, we would get our little cup of coffee and listen to the poetry. Those dates were like, what, 10, 12 bucks? They weren't a lot of money. It was just the effort into it. He knew that was my movie. He knew I loved that kind of, jazzy feel and all of that. He knew I loved it, and he did that. He would do picnics in the park and all of that. I didn't make him feel like that wasn't enough. I was making a lot more money than my husband at the time. But I could not, like the Bible says, despise the days of meager beginnings. I knew he was doing the best he could with what he had. It's not like he had all this money. He had this six-figure job, and this is what he was doing for a date. He was doing what he could afford. He was trying to be as romantic as he could be. That is extremely emasculating for a man, that when he does his very best, you say it's not enough. It's different if he's not trying. If you see there is no effort and you're like, I'm not going to reward this man. He's not even trying. He has plenty of money. He doesn't want to spend any of it on me, or whatever it is. But he's trying the best he has with what he has, and you're just saying that it's not good enough. If he's not good enough for you in your opinion, then let him go. Does he love you? Does he cherish you? Do you think he'll be faithful? Does he honor you? You didn't talk about any of that. You want him to be more romantic? You can pray about those things. It sounds like he has tremendous potential. Can you see the potential in him? Just because you meet a guy and he's perfect doesn't mean he's perfect for you. That's the female ego that makes you think you can go in there and make yourself a brand new man out of him. Men are not raw clay for you to mold into making something else. They are who they are. Just like you wouldn't want somebody to come in and change everything about you that you are, don't try to change who he is. If that's not who he is, and romance and being called all the time and being wined and dined and all of that is a deal breaker for you, you're gonna have to let him go. Alright, so that is pretty much it. Hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. And also be sure to check out my brand new book called Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. You can buy this book on Amazon, Kindle, and also BarnesandNoble.com. I really appreciate you guys supporting the book. It's also going to make a great Christmas gift, FYI. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.